you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Christmas time is here.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is! Hallelujah!
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the Weekend Review on Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody out there is having a great one. I hope they've had a great week, except for all the bullshit news we've got about DC and Henry Cavill. Absolutely crazy. But besides that, I hope everybody's had a great week. Has had a great time. We are nearing the end of it. We are at the end of it. This is the beginning of the end, going into the weekend. No shows back till Monday, but I'd like to say a really, really big good morning to my two co-hosts this morning. Dave Bob, the rooster in the hen house. What is going on, my friend?
Good morning, Valhalla. Having a good day.
Good morning. And, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, the mod himself, Project Storytime. I'm not going to dead name you this morning, or as we like to call him, Brie the Cheese Larson.
I'm not here. I'm just lurking.
He's just lurking. Just lurking. He's not really here.
Hi.
Oh, God, help us.
God.
I'm not awake enough to do the voice.
Like, oh my God, she's here.
Just don't show a picture of her feet and we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last thing we need. God help us all. God help us all. So Twitter is an absolute mess. God love it. Gotta love it.
I love it. All them people.
It's been glorious.
All them people trying to dox Elon and getting her asses banned.
Oh, and finally, the legacy media, our lovely legacy media, has finally taken notice and been like, "Oh my God, they're banning journalists."
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
banning
journalists
us.
with the integrity of Taylor Lorenz. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, they doxed his ass. They pretty much
Mhm.
doxed his ass. Oh, you want to know where his exact location, where he is at all times? Here you go.
Keith Oberman, all them assholes.
And then they whine and bitch and moan that they got. Man, it's something is very familiar about all this.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
Punch me in the face like an old woman.
I want to
Punch
punch
an
an
old woman in
old
the face.
man in the face.
Snorted Poop Scuba asks, Keith Oberman is a journalist.
Well, he pretends to be one anyway. That's what I hear.
I thought he was a has-been sports commentator.
I don't know. Chris Bergia says, low key, after Henry got shafted by Warner Brothers, Gunn has been writing a Superman script, sans Henry, for month. Now, apparently, Cavill is going to head up live action Warhammer universe
By
on
Amazon.
Yeah.
me and Josh at the same time by Amazon.
Yeah.
Wait,
Amazon.
we watched Rings of Power together. We know what Amazon's capable of.
God help us. Oh, and did you hear, Josh? They have found the formula to make Rings of Power the bestest ever. It's going to have an all-woman writing and directing.
Oh, whammon.
Yay!
That's how you fix it.
For women's.
That's how you fix it.
Women's in STEM.
And
I
did
saw a
you see
picture
the
of the-
ones that they were bringing in? The ones from all the failed ones that have
Yes.
come before.
Yes. From all the failed projects. So Amazon is bringing in an all-woman female team to do Rings of Power.
That'll save it.
Yeah, that's gonna a lot of diversity and inclusion there. And I bet you they all look like Kathleen Kennedy.
God, I hope not.
They've got token representation here and there, but God help us. The scissoring hens. What did I say? What did I say? Who's been paying attention? Scissoring hens. The scissoring hens are out there.
What was the picture of the Star Wars writing room? It was like just these Karens.
If anybody has a picture of the Karens with the Star Wars writers room, God help me out, and if you'll send it to me, I'll put it up on the screen. We can laugh about that for a good 10, 15 minutes.
The force is female.
Darius Munchausen sends in a box of popcorn with a $1.49 super sticker. Thank you so very much, Darius Munchausen, brother. Thank you. And good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody coming in. Chris Fisk. Good morning, everybody. Psychodorp 9, Snorted Poops Cuber. My favorite polar bear. Pat S. What is up? Token representation on a show based on his writing. No, you don't. You just need a female writer's room. All the hens at Halcyon to get around. All the hens use the Halcyon to get around.
Yeah, when I saw that tweet from the Rings of Power, I just said, oh my Jesus, that's really going to make everything just so perfect.
Good morning, Jesters, Darth Arlena. It is. It's going to make it. It's making to make it perfect. It's how you fix problems. You get an entire female writing team. That way, you can't entire female writing and directing team. That way, if anybody says anything negative, you can just say they're being sexist.
Oh yeah,
and you're just sexist.
That's one way to try to deflect it.
You've got Mansquatch. Mansquatch sent it. All right. Thank you, Man Squatch.
Yeah, I was looking for it.
Well, this is a different one, but yeah, this will work. Okay. So, this isn't the one where they're in the boardroom, but this will work just as well.
Oh my God.
Yep.
There you go.
That's
How many of them look like they?
a lot
How
of
many of them?
representation in there. A lot of representation. I see one black face, and the rest of them look.
Oh, we got an
Pretty
even
nice.
better. We've got an even better. Let's see. We'll look at this article.
Yeah, none of them look like they've ever watched Star Wars before it became cool.
Here you go. Meet the women working behind the scenes at Star Wars because they care. They care about what you want to see in Star Wars. Look at that.
And you wonder
Okay.
Why are they around a car?
Now, because it's Kathleen Kennedy's probably. It's probably Kathleen Kennedy's Lamborghini, whatever, that she got for not leaving and staying on her company car.
But she's been fired, Loki. I have inside sources.
And yeah, sure. Sure that.
His name is Mr. Red It, okay?
I know.
Around a Porsche.
Janitor who was talking to
Porsche Experience Center in Los Angeles. The Alliance of Women Directors learned what drives Kathleen Kennedy. Oh my God. You see what they did there? Oh my God, what drives her? Because they're all standing around a car.
I get it now.
Oh my God. What
right
drives
over my
her?
head.
What drives
Right over
her?
my head.
Wow.
What drives her is the paycheck.
The Alliance of Karens. The Grand Alliance of Karens. Oh my God. It's the Grand Alliance of Karens. And you've got some allies here. I see some beard. You've got some allies.
The Force
to the
is
Karens.
female.
The Force is female. It's really interesting to inherit a legacy like George Lucas's, which so many people love and has so much meaning baked into it because we're women. We're going to bake it into the crust. As we develop new stories and develop new characters, it's important for us to maintain the kind of emotional legacy of what George created. But add more Karens. Oh my God, add more Karens. That speaks to the filmmaker's own interests. We need soggy bottoms.
Ray,
contemporary.
It was a product of the time.
Oh, does it really fucking say that? Ray was a product of the times. Ray's so comfortable being in her power. I feel like she's a real reflection of where we were 7 years ago. So comfortable being in her power. Who the fuck writes like this? Right here in her power. We're not kidding. We're not making this up. She's so comfortable being in her power.
Writers.
What do we want to see in a new hero? And we wanted this woman, a self-sufficient and scrappy fighter who didn't need her handheld and was just as capable at the helm of a ship as a man.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Karens, unite.
Look at that.
Look at that adoration on them faces.
Karens, unite. But it's just important not to stray too far from what makes Star Wars, well, Star Wars. Oh my God, how edgy. As BP and creative executive director Doug Chan told Roberts, George Lucas always said you want to add 20% more to what exists. That's like the sweet spot.
Is this article from the Mary Sue?
It's from StarWars.com.
Wow.
Look, I'm looking up. Like, what am I looking at? What are we looking at, BB? What are we looking at? Oh, it's Darth Slong.
It's the future, and it's female.
My mouth is opening because it's Darth Slong.
It's Adam's big chest.
God help me.
And you got your beach ball there.
We talk a lot about how do you want to feel when we're talking about story. And that can be very abstract, Kennedy said. How do you want to feel when we're talking about the story? How do you want to feel?
Doesn't mean you have to repeat the story, says the one that The Force Awakens was nothing but a copy of A New Hope.
Mm-hmm. How much is this woman taken that she's saying shit like this about finding balance where you lose what everybody loves? You did. How much shit has this woman smoked?
Loki, have you ever played the Jedi Knight games?
Yes.
Okay. That was after the events of Return of the Jedi. It continued the story, focusing on new characters, but it still had that Star Wars feel. It felt like it was in that world. And I was fine with the fact that, Luke Skywalker had like a brief cameo. He's not really in the games. I was okay with that. Yeah, because I was interested in Kyle Katarn.
Yeah, from the moment he stole the Death Star plans in the first game to how it carried on, yes, absolutely. You barely see him in. I think the most you see him is in Jedi Academy, and he's not even your master. Kyle Katarn's the one that's teaching you everything. So
right.
Second Orb 9 with $5 super chat. Surviving the Star Wars writer room when the BOB needs therapy. How do you survive? I don't know. I don't think you do. I think that these people warp your sense of reality until you can only see the things they see and you can't see anything else. And then you're blind because they're blind. Thank you so much, Psychodorf 9, for that $5 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright. And this is the first goal of the day. Skull! Oh!
Long live the fighters!
Did it hang for you guys too? Because it certainly hung for me.
It did, yeah.
That was weird.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, like Michael Gonzalez says right here, the games were good, and then the expanded universe disappeared in a poof of intellectual property. Battery operated boyfriend. Yeah, Bob. They're Bobs. Yeah. Scissoring in the writer's room with their Bobs.
Yep. And now all they're doing is going into the old stuff and the EU and stuff and just taking bits and pieces of it as kind of like Tusken Raiders and Jawas, picking over the bones of literary greatness, and they're just, picking over the bones.
So let me ask you something. Why do you guys think that they're at a Porsche center and she's like hanging out like she's a dude at Porsche. Like, oh my God, let's go hang around a car like the guys do. It's
Because she's a strong woman. She don't need no man to drive her Porsche for her.
Well, and I think
Go
they're
ahead.
at the Porsche factory here because Porsche probably donated money to one of Kathleen Kennedy's charities or something like that. So it's all optics.
She talks about how Star Wars has meant something to the audience. It's been shared across generations. You don't care about that. You told us that. You don't matter.
Kathleen, your Star Wars hasn't spoken across generations. Real Star Wars has, though.
I just don't. I don't get this whole like I'm going to try and be nice to the audience when they clearly don't give a fuck about any of the audience, and they're just it's been one giant shit show. Listen, you want to stop? You want to stop us from feeling this way? Maybe don't let your minions and the people working on your shows call fans incels and talk shit about fans. Maybe don't insult us constantly and say it's all our fault that your product fucking sucks. Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that. You'll get a little more respect from us. Dag Outlaw with $4.99 super chat says, "My being late fee." Oh, dude, you don't have to pay late fee. We love you. Absolutely love you. Thank you so much, Dega, for that $5 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. And this one, Adega, is just for you. Skull!
Oh!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Uh-huh. How odd. How very odd.
Yeah.
Maybe impose.
I wonder if that is an electric Porsche.
Oh, I bet it is.
Probably. Yeah, you can see the hatch up in the front.
Maybe put a media embargo on your boy, Pablo Hidalgo, who insists on sucking what's his name's prick from Scott Mendelson. You know, maybe put a media blackout on Pablo Hidalgo and old Scotty.
How about
fire?
How about fire Pablo Hidalgo? His behavior has been despicable.
So, and stop insulting your fan base. I don't get this whole deal where, hey, you know what? We've got these edgy fucktards that work for us, and we're gonna let them insult the fan base. We're gonna let them insult the fan base. We're gonna let them insult the people that buy our product.
Let him insult a YouTuber who's emotionally moved by your product, and call him a what did he call the guy? He called him like a pathetic fanboy or something like that.
Yep.
Like he was moved at seeing Luke Skywalker again.
Freddie Prinze Jr. did the exact same thing. Cupcake bra. Fuck you, Cupcake bra. You don't know anything. You don't know anything about Star Wars. You know nothing about Star Wars, man. It's not even for you. It's for little kids. It's Space Wizards for little kids, man.
Yeah, whatever, Freddie Prinze Jr. Your character was the worst part of Mass Effect 3, and that's saying something.
He said feelings are not to be shared.
That's right, yeah.
KK couldn't take pics with the Pybo first because they refused because they don't like her.
If that's true, that's funny.
Why would they show Karens with cars and think that any Star Wars fan cares about that? I'll tell you why. I will tell you exactly why.
Status
this
symbol.
White car here. This is Karen Wet Dream.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a Karen Wet Dream. They all spooge over the exact same type of automobile. It's this white electric automobile. They're all spooging all over it, and they're all like, "Oh my god, how do I get one?"
The only thing missing is like a wine glass, to be held next to it.
Oh yeah,
usually
it's
holding
probably got a
glass.
wine glass holder in the car.
Yes,
Yeah,
because that's a great thing for cars to have.
yeah, a
Pardon
wine
me.
glass.
Pardon me. Do you have any Grey Poupon?
But of course. Like a Jedi Master leading the way for a new class of Padawans.
Oh my god.
Many of the panelists named Kathy herself as a mentor and inspiration.
Well, of course they did, because they were being brought here by her.
It always feels like you're on a cliff's edge, Rejwan said of working in production. It's Star Wars. It's quite inspiring because it means so much to so many people. So there's not one detail we don't talk about tirelessly and weigh. Uh-huh. Brandon and her fellow collaborators.
Not that crap y'all are peddling.
Her name is Brandon. Her name is Brandon. Brandon and her fellow collaborators on the new
Let's go,
film
Brandon.
have
Then yes.
for years to end the Skywalker saga just right. For 2 months, we haven't had a day off or a night off or a morning off or any time off. We didn't even get to break for lunch, those fucking slavers at Lucasfilm. Oh, wow. It's just like George said. Just when you think I don't have the answer, I do. And you shift something around and the film starts to sing. And you get there when you never thought you would. And that is one of the elements that is moving magic.
That's just basically describing the entire creative process, but they're just patting themselves on the back. That's not what that just described. Is what all creative people go through when they're crafting their story, pitching ideas, trying to see what works. What made Lucas, because Lucas was also doing that all the time, but he had other really good creative people around him to bounce those ideas off of. These people are just wine moms who go, yes, that will work. That's so stunning and brave. There's no digestion of the creative process at all. They just sigh out ideas and go, let's make that work.
Oh my God, we'll make it work. With this entire girl club of writers, and I'm seeing this and I'm watching Amazon play like catch up, and it's like, how many shitty women writers can we get? How many shitty women Karen writers can we get to rival our good friends over at Disney? I mean, God, if I was Amazon, I want to be Amazon. I wouldn't want to copy this. This is the last thing I would want to copy. Why are you copying this when you can just be Amazon? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it. Call me insane. Call me whatever you want. Say I'm mean. I'm a mean Loki that's really mean and says mean and awful things. Whatever. I just don't get it. Fire them all. Fire them all.
Yeah.
Get rid of them all. Daryl the derelict. My boy, Daryl the derelict. Buy this electric Porsche and look at all this ugly pussy you can get, maybe for free. Wine moms of the world unite for ugly electric Porsches. And thank you so much, Brandon the Anime Guy, for becoming a member of the channel. You guys keep the fires burning bright. And this one, brother, is just for you. Welcome to the Viking Horde. Skull! So the last couple of days I've gone off on the legacy media and what it means that they're acting like such fucking little children. So I got a copy of this the other day, and it's a column from Free Speech. It says, "We don't make exceptions for jokes or satire." Line from a third tranche of company documents released by Twitter's new owner, Elon Musk, captures the social media giant's censorship culture. Its humorless, officious tenor is all too common with state censors throughout history. State censors. Holy shit. A lot of Daryl the Derelict, dude.
Damn.
Daryl the Derelict gifts 10 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships. Thank you so very much, Daryl. Chris Fisk, Nuanced Observer, Michelle O'Rourke Johansson, Soul Assassin, Forbidden Ruin, Fenrir Fire, Ironcaster, Snowdub, Pat S, Zakharov 315. Thank you so very much, Daryl, brother. That is so absolutely so cool of you. And Krampus Jeebus has been a member for 5 months and is worried big. Says, Fenta, Mexican Iron Man wants a Fenta. We're going to give you a Fanta, brother. Thank you, Daryl, so very much, brother. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and this one is just for you, Daryl. Skull! He wants a Penta. Mexican Iron Man wants a Penta. We've been working on getting his face like put over the Hawaiian Iron Man face, so it looks more like Mike. So where was I?
Do you want to be like Mike?
Oh yeah, everybody wants to be like Mike.
Yeah.
Censorship creates an insatiable appetite for more censorship, where even jokes become intolerable to censors. You can't even tell a joke. You can't say anything because you're going to get censored. Censorship apologists
Comedians
are
have been saying
running
that
out.
for years, though.
Oh yeah,
Like 10 years ago, Jerry Seinfeld stopped performing at colleges because he said they don't have a sense of humor anymore.
no, absolutely, and they don't.
No.
They don't. You get booed off stage. You say one wrong thing against the hive mind, and you get booed off stage. Censorship apologists are running out of room for evasion. They first insisted that Twitter was not censoring, just favored views, and then said that claims of secret throttling and shadow banning were conspiracy theories. They then insisted that there was no evidence of meetings with the FBI or other agencies and Twitter. The latest Twitter files shatter all the past spins. This includes confirmation of shadow banning and other suppression techniques, despite denials by former CEO Jack Dorsey under oath before Congress, and public denials by top corporate executives. These people, ladies and gentlemen, are deciding what you need to see as the truth. They are shaping truth and lie.
Yeah,
They are shaping what you need to believe. You aren't adult enough and you aren't smart enough to decide what you think is the truth and what's not.
And then they lie about it. I mean, just straight out lie to your face.
And I love that pod racing Jennifer Lawrence is in the chat now.
Oh, we've got pod racing Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes.
Oh, hello, pod racing Jennifer Lawrence, the first ever pod racer and galactic emperor. Nice. Empress, whatever. The first woman to ever exist was pod racing Jennifer Lawrence. First Sith Lord, first across the line. Yeah. First ever name. And congratulations, Michelle O'Rourke Johansson. That's awesome. The legal ramifications will become clear as more information emerges, yet a far more significant problem already is confirmed in these files. The existential threat of corporate censors to free speech. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The government can't do what these people are doing.
Nope.
A senator can't decide to censor what you say or censor information you get, but a corporation sure as shit can. A private corporation can.
Well, I mean, how many times were we told that before Elon bought Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Now
These
suddenly
people,
they hate that idea, don't they?
yeah, and these people are doing this work because the government can't. The government would get in uber trouble. It goes against your First Amendment, but sure as shit, private corporation can. In the new material released late Friday, journalist Matt Taibbi confirmed that Twitter executives met weekly with the FBI, Homeland Security, national intelligence officials to discuss disinformation.
Mm-hmm.
They should be removed from the site. Those discussions included the Hunter Biden laptop story. You don't need a state ministry of information if the media voluntarily maintains official narratives and suppresses any dissenting views.
The reason in this country we have freedom of the press was to keep the government in line. So when they're working together, that's when it's very, very dangerous.
You get what the Germans did back in World War II. The government and the military controlled all the media. They controlled radio. They controlled the newspapers. Any information that got out to the German people in World War II was all passed through Ministry of Information. It was all passed through the government. The government controlled the news. The notion of a privately run state media is reinforced by the response of these disturbing disclosures. A virtual news blackout, with most major media offering little coverage of the disclosures, just as press dissenting or opposing views in a myriad of ways. Many in the media are minimizing coverage of what is happening and what Elon's letting out. To use a favorite term of Twitter, executives found in these files, the media amplifies certain narratives or views while de-amplifying stories that contradict those accounts. You're not smart enough to decide what the truth is and what's not. So they're going to decide it for you.
How nice of them.
This is an insult to the intelligence of the everyday person. It's an insult to your decision making. It's an insult to what we do every single day. They can give their opinion, but they aren't just doing that. They're trying to silence everyone else's.
Yep.
You know, I knew a YouTuber. Josh knows about this YouTuber because he helped me. He helped me counter the great. You will fall, Loki. You will fall. He was there. We should silence people that don't agree with us. We need to get rid of people and silence people that don't agree with us and don't hold our views. Those people are trash. Just like Hollywood. If you're not on board with their narrative, you don't get any work. You get silenced. You get removed. In a Senate hearing, oh no, some of these files reflect specific subjects or measures long pushed by powerful politicians to get private companies to do indirectly what they themselves are barred from doing under the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
The Senate hearing where Dorsey apologized for blocking the Hunter Biden laptop story. For example, Senator Richard Blumenthal was more concerned about Twitter backsliding or retrenching on censorship and warned that Congress would not tolerate any reduction of robust content modification. Senator Chris Coons reminded Dorsey that he expected censorship of misinformation on climate change as well as other areas. Others, such as Elizabeth Warren, have called on social media companies to use enlightened algorithms to protect people from their own bad reading choices. This is your choice, but you need to be protected from your own choices. So we have to babysit and hold your hand. As shown in the recent Twitter release, these algorithms manipulate what someone sees in searches or trending stories. What these files suggest is an utter license to control political speech on social media platforms. Twitter executives often sound like overlords, determining what the public should be allowed to read or say. This is hardly surprising, given the constant stroking by many politicians and pundits who say they are saving democracy by limiting free speech.
And
So
that's
let
why
me
we
get
have the Second Amendment.
so let me get this straight. You're saving us every day by limiting who can see us on YouTube, limiting who can see our responses on Twitter, limiting what information you get that they don't agree with. What Soul Assassin says right here, they want power. They want power over everyone, and they want power over everything. You will be silenced because you aren't informed enough in their eyes to make a correct decision. You need them to make it for you. Why the fuck has this not blown up yet and is completely viral? Because they're trying to stop it from
Of course
becoming
they are.
viral.
Yeah, of course they are. Because it's to them, it's a danger to the entire media system, the way it's set up. So of course that's why almost no one in the media is talking about all these leaks.
This isn't us giving you a conspiracy theory. These are facts.
Yes.
These are facts. And what Chris says right here, this is ultimately what I'm really afraid of. People still think we live in a free country.
Mm-hmm.
And Adega, I will promote the shit out of that if you do it. I will promote the living hell out of that if you do it.
Go for it, Adega. Seriously.
In April, former President Barack Obama called upon our better angels to shape opinions. Similarly, President Joe Biden said social media editors are vital to protecting citizens from their own misguided values and assumptions. you are not smart enough to make a correct, informed decision.
Who in the world is a politician to tell me what my values are?
He says, how do people know the truth if we don't give it to them? The president of the United States was bold enough and ballsy enough to say, how do you know the truth unless I give it to you? And Mr. Buttcrack Media gifted 5 Loki's Mornings of Mischief memberships. Mark the Infinitely Tired was gifted 1. Leia Rose was gifted 1. Moods of Madness. Woggly-eyed Wendy. Holy shit. That bearded bitch. And Elijah Snow was gifted a membership. Thank you so very much, Mr. Buttcrack Media. And thank you to Psychodorp9 with a $2 super chat who said, who are you allowed to mock? That's a good question. That is a very good question. Thank you guys so very much for your super chats and your gifts of memberships. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and this one is just for you, gentlemen. Skull!
Spartans! What is your profession?
Michelle O'Rourke Johansson says, Loki, it scares me that the country I came to as a 14-year-old girl that welcomed me to her shores is no longer the same country I recognize. You got some crazy-ass people in charge that think that they're smarter than you, and the only way for things to work out in their favor is for them to decide for you. It's the exact same as Hollywood. This is why they're getting along so chummy. It's because Hollywood believes we're smarter than you. We need to be making the decisions for you. And guess what? Your friendly local government's doing the exact same thing. Such comments show total contempt for the ability of people to make up their own minds on subjects ranging from elections to vaccinations. Yet social media executives readily embrace their role in framing the truth. Former Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal pledged to focus less on thinking about free speech and more on who can be heard. While some of us denounced his anti-free speech agenda, others rose in defense of Twitter, maintaining one of the largest censorship systems in history.
They're a private company. They can do what they want.
They're a private company. They can do what they want. Now, and they're basically bending over and taking one with the government. Now these Twitter files show precisely what it means to manipulate who can be heard, a process that went beyond controversial censorship of users to include a broader secret effort to suppress disfavored viewpoints. The new documents show Twitter using blacklists and visibility filters to interfere with user searches or to shadow ban individuals and prevent their tweets from trending. The new material also indicates that visibility filtering was directed at various Republican campaigns throttling or reducing candidates' visibility before the 2020 election. Most striking in the latest documents is how Twitter censors knowingly discarded even their own policies to hamper then President Donald Trump in the 2020 election, in which Trump preferred a mail-in voting problem in Ohio that was found to be true. Nevertheless, Twitter executives were praised for their speed to impose visibility filters so the tweet could not be replied to, shared, or liked. Has that ever happened to either one of you? Because I know sure as shit it's happened to me. Where you go to like something and it just won't do it, or you go to retweet and it won't retweet, and then you go to comment, you just can't comment. Guess what? They turned off the ability to do all that shit. So apparently these guys received a attaboy and very well done on speed when they blocked that, even though it was true. A long debate over whether to censor a joke about mail-in voting by former Governor Mike Huckabee because Twitter staff insisted they don't make exceptions for jokes or satire. After all, the censors noted a joke could still mislead people. The same logic that appeared to be the basis for suspending conservative satirical site the Babylon Bee. The only reason Huckabee's joke wasn't censored was his concern about we poked enough bears for today. So their excuse for not banning his joke was we poked enough bears today. A record number of users are signing up with Twitter. And a recent poll shows a majority of Americans supporting Elon's efforts to restore transparency and free speech on the site. Thus, Musk seems to be forcing a reckoning that few in Washington relish, and one which the media can't continue to ignore, given an expected investigation by a Republican-controlled House. Political and media figures will be forced to dispense with any pretense of support for free speech and defending censorship, election manipulation, blacklisting, and shadow banning. There is nothing humorous about any of this if you value free speech.
So they'll hold a hearing and then ultimately do nothing about it, because that's what seems to happen a lot.
Yes. The person who wrote this, you can find at Jonathan Turley on Twitter. Jonathan Turley is the Shapiro professor for public interest law at George Washington University. You are not smart enough, ladies and gentlemen, to make up your own mind. You are not smart enough to decide what is real and what is fiction. You are not smart enough to vote for who you need to vote for. These decisions need to be made for you. And now tell me that there isn't some kind of interference, that there isn't some wonky shit going on when you're not smart enough to do these things. You're not smart enough to live your life. You're not smart enough to deal with climate change. You're not smart enough to understand how we have to change everything and how you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. We're not smart enough to decide who needs to be in charge of the country because you're just not intelligent enough to decide that. This is sick. This is fucked up and this is sick. And it's here. It's not, this isn't some third world country. This isn't some backward ass thing going on in Cuba. This is here. You weren't smart enough to decide what should be correct and what should be false. So we're going to decide for you. And the government's in on it, penny for a pound. I don't know what else to say after that. I don't know what other point I can make.
No, it's scary. It's absolutely scary. And both sides benefit from it. I mean, one side benefits more, but you don't see, the right doing much about it.
You don't see who's marching on the Capitol right now. Who's marching on the Capitol right now because Big Brother has decided what information we need to have and what information we don't. And just, you weren't smart enough, Josh. You weren't smart enough to make a decision on your own. We have to make it for you.
Okay.
Dave Bob's not smart enough to make a decision on his own. They have to make it for him. It's big tech. Hand in hand with the government, doing what the government is not allowed to do because it is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do it. Fuck me. This isn't America. I don't know what this is. I hate to use the idea of Yahtzee fucking Germany, but for the last what, 6 years, 7 years, it's been Yahtzee's this, Yahtzee's that, Yahtzee's hit me with the whip a ball bat. I can't even say that anymore because it's been completely twisted into something else. So what am I supposed to say? You're fucking socialist cocksuckers? Because that's what they are, is a bunch of socialist cocksuckers. You can't even say Yahtzee anymore because it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they said I was a conspiracy theory when I trash talked the 3-letter agencies. They didn't when I talked of their Satanisms and politicians who did the same. It's all coming to light now. A Deg Outlaw. Oh yeah, and yes, Donald Trump is selling digital trading cards. That's just sad.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I saw
What
that
you call
yesterday,
jumping
and
the
I was like,
shark.
whatever. So what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to point it out without looking like an absolute douche? Zombie Box Reduce, hail, brother. You're not smart enough. You're not smart enough to make your own decisions. You're not smart enough to decide what you need to believe and what you don't need to believe. I really, really, really am starting to look at a lot of what's gone down the last couple of years, especially with the coup, as one big litmus test of how much control can we take from people and how much can we demand they do exactly what we want and herd them like cattle, because that's all they see people as is cattle. What we're getting on the southern border, that's just a herd of cattle grazing on their land. That's all they see it as. They don't care. They don't look at them like people. They're just cattle.
Why do you think they're going so hard in the paint right now, trying to restrict guns? I mean, they are really going after it hard right.
Yes, absolutely. No, I absolutely agree. Take away the First Amendment. How do you keep it away? You take away the Second. Yeah, there is no we the people. There is no we the people. There's them and there's us, and it's going to eventually come to a head. That's why they've tried to make such a giant deal out of January 6th. So yeah, I'll say the fucking date and the month.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
why they had such a big bit about all that. Be smart. Don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you hear. Make your own mind up. Make your own decisions. No one, I'm not going to blame you for that. You could tell me you know what, Loki, after considering it, I think there are some purple fucking spaceman out there controlling all kinds of shit. Well, I'm glad you think that. I'm not going to damn you for it. That's what you think. That's what you think. I'm tired of this shit. No one should decide for you what you need to think and what you need to feel and what you need to believe and what you don't need to believe. And there's a precedent. There's precedents for lockdowns now. That's right. That's right. We already heard about it. Possibly may happen again this winter because, oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad again. You know, I look around and I see it so bad. It's so bad and it's so horrible again. All they have to do is snap their fingers and you're back to wearing masks and you're back to being, oh, well, there's curfew now. You can't go out. Can't go out. They shut down everything. Nothing's open 24 hours anymore because they don't want you out at night. They don't want you out at night. So everything is getting shut down now. Nothing's open 24 hours anymore. There's your fucking curfew. There's nothing for you to do in the middle of the night. So stay off the street. Right there, what Snowdub says. I just hope there's enough of us when it comes time to use the Second Amendment. I've gone politically enough for today, though. God help everybody. Loki went to the Twitter files and went political. It's insulting.
Those things are scary. I mean, they are
Mhm.
scary.
What, the Twitter files?
Yes. I mean, the depths that the three-letter agencies were working with them and whatnot. I mean, that kind of shit right there, that's beyond conspiracy theory. That's
Yeah.
scary.
When you're getting meetings with the FBI, the CIA, the NSA. Yeah. Yeah, you're basically on doing weekly meetings with the alphabet agencies. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we're out of here, guys. That's it. It's the end. End of the week. We're out of here. No late show tonight. I'll be gone. You guys take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend, enter. Thank you guys so very much for your super chats today. Thank you so very much for your memberships. Those mean everything. When you guys get memberships and stuff like that, absolutely means everything. Thank you. Because it just makes us one even bigger community. Take care, everybody. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend, enter, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I see you, Mark. I see what you're putting there. No, my heart didn't explode. Great one, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.